So how do you do to change your perception and come back in happiness?
Well, I have a very strong meditation practice, and I have a very powerful visioning practice. Now, in meditation, and that carries over into my everyday life.
It's not the same thing for you, visionary and...
No, visioning is an extension of meditation. It's another practice, but it has a meditation base.
Do you do every day?
I do meditation every day. I do visioning not every day, but I do it every week. But I do meditation every day.
So what is meditation for you?
Meditation, I define it as paying undistractable attention to reality. That which is changeless, causeless, love, beauty, intelligence, these are real qualities. And meditation is paying attention to these qualities until they become integrated into you. So if I wake up, I don't wake up in a bad mood, but if something happens I don't like or there's a bad mood, I have the capacity to observe it. I'll look at the mood. And as soon as I look at the mood, it begins to change because I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And as I keep looking at it with my intention to be free, then the mood begins to break down. And underneath, I can see the thought that's generating that mood. And if I look closely, I can see, is that thought valid or invalid? And
Do you have an example for people?
Okay. I just got a phone call that interrupted our interview.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to transfer some money to help my grandson.
Oh.
Okay. And the lady hasn't called me back. She hasn't been doing her duty well.
Yeah.
So I wasn't happy about that. Okay. So I look at it. I looked at that. I was talking to my assistant earlier, and I said, I've called her twice. She hasn't called me back. She's delaying. She's not fulfilling her responsibility. But it's going to work out. I looked at it. I could get angry, call up, make a big mess. I didn't do that. I just said, she'll call back. She'll get it together, And when she called back, I explained to her what I felt, that she didn't call me back, but I didn't get upset about it. I just said, listen, if you want my business, I'm going to need you to respond to me. But there was a moment where I could have gotten angry about it, but instead I went to a wider picture and said, you know what, this is going to work out by the end of the day. It just happened to work out with us talking at an interview, And so instead of just stomping around and being mad about it, there was nothing I could do about it at the time, I just looked at the mood and then went on about my business.
I would love to know also...
Or I'll give you something closer, something else, okay? My mother passed over last year.
Whoa.
Okay, we're very close. And as she was passing over, there was a sense of powerlessness about it, because I couldn't do anything about it. And then, of course, the sadness, okay? And so when I would wake up, my mother wasn't there anymore. So there was sadness.
You feel a kind of lack of something?
Yeah, she would call all the time. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? We're talking. And the same thing with my kids and talking to them. And so I became aware of that. But behind that, I'm also aware that my mother's still alive. She just doesn't have a body. So I'm embracing the larger picture that she doesn't have a body. And even though I'm sad that she's not here, I'm overjoyed at the relationship I had with her.
So you celebrate?
I celebrate her existence. I celebrate the time we had together. I celebrate that she was a great mother, a great mother. A lot of people don't have the kind of mother that I had. She was a great mother. And that makes me very happy, And I still feel that connection when she visits me in dreams and we have conversation in dreams. So the connection is still there, but the body's not there. So I could place my attention on, oh my God, my mother's gone, I don't see her. Or I could place my attention on, I had a great mom and we're still in communion. So I choose to put my attention on, I had a great mom and we still have a connection.
Great.
I don't deny she's gone.
Yeah.
But I just shift my attention.
You focus.
I focus where I want to focus, yeah.
Great, thank you.
I've been doing this for over 30 years and a public person, speaking, teaching, counseling, author, books, and I try to stay true to myself. And my responsibility first is to me, which means I have a spiritual practice that I do every day, as we talked, meditation and other things that I do, that keeps me in harmony with the flow of life. Now, as I'm in harmony with the flow of life, then there's happiness, there's peace of mind, there's a sense of well-being, there's a joy. All of that's just a part of my life. Even when it's intense, it's very intense, I have deadlines, there's things going on in the community, in one of the 30 ministries that are here. It's all kinds of things going on. But with my practice, I'm able to stay balanced, okay? Now, in terms of vulnerability, what I had to learn was, I had to learn to be vulnerable to receive the love that people wanted to give me. You know, my vulnerability in terms of giving, it's easy for me to give and to share, and to share with people and things of that particular nature. I had to learn to receive. I had to develop that kind of vulnerability, because I was, why are these people gathering around me? Why are they, admiring me? I didn't, because I'm teaching principles. I'm teaching spiritual principles that are known for thousands of years. And so I had to learn how to be vulnerable enough to receive that. If I am upset about something, which I don't get upset a lot, I don't hide that. I just say that bothers me. But I know there's an answer. I know there's a solution, you see. So I don't paint a false face. You know what I mean? I don't paint a false face like I'm happy when I'm not.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that also.
No, but I don't make a federal case. You know, in America we say make a federal case out of something, which means make a big deal out of something.
Yeah.
That I don't make a big deal out of a lot of things either, because I've been on the planet long enough to know that eventually things work out. If you have intention and a vision, and you're really ready to walk in a positive direction, things work out. So shame and blame, playing the shame game or the blame game is not fruitful. Blaming other people for things, or even blaming yourself, or shaming other people, or shaming yourself. I teach that we have to ask powerful questions. And if there's an issue going on, you have to ask a question that's big enough for the universe to answer it.
So can you give us some of the questions you are used to use?
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you what I teach, and then I'll break it down. One of the things that I teach is that behind every problem, there's a question trying to ask itself. And behind every question, there's an answer trying to reveal itself. And behind every answer, there's an action trying to express itself. And behind every action, there's a way of life trying to be born. So if a person is struggling with finances, let's say, chronic, and they're asking, oh, why me? Why is this always happening to me? I never have enough money. That's a disempowering question. It's not going to help you. So you got to ask a bigger question. So perhaps the question is, what is the nature of prosperity? Just ask, what's the nature of prosperity? And if you're sincere, perhaps you write it down, you go to bed at night and you think about it, you go to sleep on it, the universe will start to talk to you. It's already talking to you. The broadcast is already going on. It just needs your permission to come in.
It's like the radio. You have to
tune in.
Yeah.
Right. So when you ask a question, you're tuning into the answer. So then the answer comes and starts to tell you, prosperity is everywhere. Prosperity is energy. Energy is never created or destroyed. It's invisible. Harmonizing prosperity and abundance and plenitude is everywhere. Look at the leaves on a tree. Look at the grains of sand. Look at the stars in the heavens. It's everywhere. There's no lack anywhere. So you start to get that. And then so that gives you an answer. Then it gives you an action. Start to give. Start to share. And your surface mind will say, wait a minute. I'm asking this question because I don't have anything. My issue is prosperity. And it'll come back and it'll tell you, I said I'm invisible. I'm infinite. I'm not a thing. Give what you have. Give a smile. help somebody, put yourself in a position to serve. And then that action then becomes a way of life. So if you wake up thinking, how am I going to serve? How am I going to give? How am I going to circulate? Then the universe supports you in that, and prosperity starts to flow into your life because you've asked the right question. Rather than, why me? Why don't I have anything? You're asking, what is prosperity? And then you learn to give, to share, and then that consciousness coagulates, it condenses itself as opportunities, money, ideal employment. It shows up. Your desire to give and to share your talents shows up in ways that couldn't show up if you asked the wrong question.